Coach, now that you had time to digest and celebrate a win over a tough team, you've got to turn the page to Cal Poly team that may have gotten beat on paper last week, but they're always traditionally tough, and they played Montana very hard. Your initial thoughts on heading down to California to play the Mustangs?
Yeah, certainly we're glad to get our first conference win, and now we get to go on the road to Cal Poly and see if we can get another one. They're always tough to play. Anytime you play a team coached by Tim Walsh, you know they're going to be tough and physical, and they're going to run the ball and they're going to tackle well and play hard. So we know that this will be a challenge. Offensively and defensively, they do some things that are difficult to prepare for. I'll start with their defense. The odd front and the pressures out of it will be something we have to work hard on this week. It's not something we've seen yet, so that's going to present its own set of issues. We'll have to have a great week of practice, and then offensively, with they're a true triple option team. They're good at it. They know what they're doing. They insist on running the ball, and they have the ability to control the game. So, Prothrow's a great back. The quarterback's good with the ball in his hands. He makes good decisions on the triple stuff, and kids just don't grow up playing against the triple or the trap play or some of the things that Cal Poly does really well. The quarterback follow off their midline look. So all those things are difficult and specific to this week. So that's an issue, and there's just a lot of things that we need to work hard on this week if we're going to have a chance to win.
Does Cal Poly do anything differently with their triple option than maybe some other triple option teams around the country?
They have all kinds of different wrinkles. They probably do a little more arcing than some with the tackles. But it's when you've done this for a while, it's all stuff that you see over the years. They get to choose what percentage they do their different wrinkles that they have, and they have a lot of them. And we have to prepare to stop it all. So they'll find some things that are hard for us and go to it. And we're going to have to get off blocks and make some plays.
Is it different than the triple option they were running your first go around here when you guys played them in the non-conference? First stint?
They change year to year too.
Right.
They go back to some of their old stuff, and the beauty of the offense for them is they've got a book on what they like against certain fronts and certain structures, and they can always get to it. They work all year on it, and they'll have one thing they like, and then if you stop that, then they'll have answers.
Coach, how important is stopping the fullback dive in particular to stopping that offense?
Well, that's somewhat cliche. When you play an option team, you'll hear coaches say that. It's the first thing they say. But in regard to these guys, you have to stop that because that's probably their best player. So he's been good. We have a high regard for him and his abilities, and we have to try to get a handle on him. People the last few years have not stopped him a lot of the time.
When you get, not you, but when they were blown out by 70 points, what kind of mentality do you think they're going to have coming into this game?
Well, I'm sure they're going to say we better not turn it over and give up a bunch of points in the kicking game and with their offense. It's a different game when those things start happening.
Bobby, you mentioned Prothrow, the fullback. What skill set does he bring that you think makes him such a good player, such a productive player?
He's big and fast. That's a pretty good place to start. And he sees things well. He really does a nice job of getting to the right spot, seeing the blocking scheme, and then he runs through contract pretty well. I just watched him throwing some DBs down when he gets in the secondary. He's a big physical running back.
Josh, your thoughts on playing a triple option team? I know you've done it before, but not last year. So what's the transition point like preparing for Cal Poly this week?
We'll get into the scouting reports and everything today, kind of see what the coach's plan is for us. You know, just from previous years, I know it's going to be a, you know, tough physical game, the entire game. And, you know, as a defensive player, that's what you should want, though. So I'm looking forward to it and excited to get into it today.
How much different is the week for you when it's a completely kind of different offense that you're preparing for?
I mean, I would say not super different. You know, every week offenses do different things, so you got to, you know, flush what you learned last week. Flush what you learned, but you know what you're supposed to do, and then have 100% focus on this week and what the coaches are asking of you, and you know, just do your assignment each week. So, I mean, honestly, I don't think it's that much different. Just we got to focus on what we do.
Dalton, that first touchdown run this past week, you looked up into the stands at someone or something. Who were you looking at, or what were you looking at?
I was just celebrating with the crowd, fired up. First play of that drive, had a wide open lane and a lot of grass in front of me, so I wanted to celebrate with the fans and celebrate with my teammates. It was a pretty exciting moment.
On the second touchdown run, you had a really nice pump fake that seemed to, at least the one linebacker jumped at it. Did you have any intention of throwing that one, or was that just to get him out of the way?
I was thinking about it. I saw Sammy there. He was kind of working back towards the sideline, but it looked, you know, we were 30 seconds down going in the half, didn't want to turn the ball over, didn't want to make a risky throw, so decided to tuck in and run. The pump fake happened to work then.
Dalton, obviously, your mobility is a big part of your game, but after 200 yards, do you think that teams now will have to start to actually game plan for you specifically as a runner, not merely as just a, quote, mobile quarterback?
I would say so. I would expect more spies coming from the defense, more guys that are more so responsible for the quarterback. So I would expect that in the future, yes.
Coach, if I can kind of double off of that, how much does that help to have that the defense has to think about?
Well, trying to game plan defensively for running quarterbacks is always hard. We're trying to do it this week. When you have a guy that can run and throw, it's tough. Sac State tried some things, and some of it worked, some of it didn't.
Dalton, how's it feel just to be named the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Week?
I'd say it's a huge honor, but like Josh was kind of saying, you know, we're here as a team, and I want to flush that. And biggest thing for us is going 1-0 and getting the win. That's the biggest stat that I'm concerned with. So.
I know you haven't dove into Cal Poly all that much yet, but when you're going against odd fronts and blitzes coming from all over the place, how much is that on you and Cody to kind of recognize and figure out who to block, things like that?
Right, like Coach was saying, it's a different defense. So we'll have to really prepare and see the looks that they're bringing, the type of blitzes they're bringing, and make sure we're picked up and making them pay when they do bring them. I think the biggest thing is just protection and running where they're not. As simple as that sounds, just getting in the right play and the right checks.
Dalton, you praised the offensive line after Saturday's win. After looking at the film again from Saturday, what sort of things do you think they're doing well right now?
I think they're knowing their assignments and playing how they know how to play. I think with much younger guys, you got to instill confidence in them, and they've been, like I was saying earlier, they're getting gritty, they're determined, and they're only getting better each week. So it's been phenomenal for them.
Bobby, have you seen similar things in terms of the offensive line improving?
Yeah, they're doing a lot of things better week in and week out. You know, been shuffling the lineup a little bit here and there. Yeah, I mean, when you rush for whatever we did, they're doing a good job. But you know, the tight ends and the O-line, they all work together, and they all need to improve.
Coach, along that line too, Cy Sermon was playing defense last year and even early this year. He's now moving into a starting job. What have you liked about what he's brought to step right in there?
Well, Cy's doing some good things in terms of getting on to people and creating some movement. He gets on and off of doubles better than anybody we've got right now. So he's doing a nice job with some of those things.
You going against the triple option?
You gotta, you know, it's assignment football. Everyone has to do their job every single play. You know, you can't mess up, or you can't have one assignment error. You know, they'll make you pay for it. So, like I said earlier, this week you just got to focus on, you know, assignments ahead of us, what the coaches are asking, and make sure, you know, for 4 quarters you're playing hard, physical, and doing your assignment.
Josh, any thoughts on Joe Prothero, the fullback? I know you went against him 2 years ago. What sort of player do you think he is?
I agree with Coach. You know, he's big, he's fast, he's physical, and that's really all it is to it. We're gonna have to come and, you know, play a physical game, I guess.
Bobby, watch that play? And
Yeah, I watch all the plays.
yeah, I mean that one in particular. But do you see anything that we didn't see, and any update on him?
He's fine and good clean hit.
With him, what do you see from him going forward for you? What do you want to see from him for what he can bring for you?
Oh, just a guy that plays hard and does his part. I mean, every guy in there is trying to contribute, hopefully, and we need everybody to do their best. And whenever they get a play, they got to give 100%. That's what we expect out of him.
Anything particular that's challenging about this trip going to San Luis Obispo?
Well, I think mostly the most challenging thing about this trip is their scheme. They do a lot of great things that are difficult on both sides of the ball. So,
Coach, you said after the game that you were starting to like the resiliency that your team is starting to show. How does it's kind of an ethereal thing to judge? So how do you start to sort of decide to see where they're at and what goes into the development of that trait as a team?
Well, I think that to develop that, you have to put people in adverse situations and encourage them to fight their way out of those. And we do that all year long around here. And just from a rewardment standpoint as a coach, we're starting to see some of that on the field.
Dalton, it seemed like a lot of your rushes in the first 3 games were kind of, you're scrambling and you're getting yards. Last week it seemed like more quarterback design runs and things like that. How much more does that add to it and a wrinkle for you guys as an offense?
I think just attacking the defense where they're most vulnerable, and that's what Coach Rosie's been doing. And the quarterback run was more effective this game than it has been in past games, and that was just due to schematics with Coach Rosie and Coach Hauck putting in. So,
Couple more questions?
Coach, you've gone against Tim Walsh in a different capacity when he was at Portland State. What in the past characterized his teams, and do you see any carryover now to this Cal Poly team?
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of carryover. They're running a bit different offense now, right. But the core traits of good hard-nosed football, toughness, discipline, effort level, all those things that Tim's teams play with, these guys show.
Thanks, guys.
Good.